Are we on the internet? Hello, everything's online. Sweet. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It is Saturday night, which means it's time for more D&D, because what else are we going to do on a Saturday night? Saying. Oh, DM ins. Alrighty. So, yeah, we're off to a banging start. Clear that stuff out. 9 hours ago. Wow, it's been 9 hours since we played some D&D. 9 hours. I guess we're going to play some more. Good to go. Oh, thank you for the 3-month sub, Lebanese. Hope I'm not butchering that up. Yay for the bits, Jinxie. Yay for the bits, Qeth. One of these days I'm going to learn how to pronounce that. Anyways, let's get to it. First off, of course, thank you everybody for coming so far. Thank you for hanging out. Gonna do a quick shout out, whatnot. First of all, a shout out to Syrinscape for the soundboards and background musics we're using. This is a custom sound set I'm using for Challenge Accepted Season 2. Go and check out Syrinscape.com to get more information about all the various sound sets they do. What they do, sci-fi, fantasy, board games, role-play games, the sky's the limit. Definitely go check that out. Also a shout out and a thank you to D&D Beyond, because we do run the D&D Beyond extension for Twitch, so you can follow along to see how the party does as far as health, and check them out. So big shout out for them. Also, we've been running, we have right now you're hearing those wonderful sounds from Stream Beats, which is royalty-free music you can use for your streams and videos. Check those out, but we'll flip over to the more appropriate mood, and that is the Syrinscape. As kind of let you know, we do have a guest tonight, and we do have a new cast member, which we'll be introducing as the story progresses. It should be a lot of fun to see how that goes. Yeah, it should be lots of fun. If you have any questions or comments, just do question in all caps and comment in all caps, so then followed by your question or comment, and we will try and address those when we get to our break. I believe that's it. Yeah, let's bring in the cast and do our hellos. Oh, that's not right. We want that one. Hit the wrong button. Oops. Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Hi,
guys.
Right. So we have our new cast member, Miss Maze. Real quick, we'll do an introduction of our characters, what our character race, class, name, the basic info for those who are just tuning in. Plus, there's a warm welcome to our newest cast member, so she can find out what crazy conundrum she volunteered for. I mean, she volunteered for this, so hey, we'll start with Maze. Go ahead and tell us who Maze is, what Maze is, and a little bit about Maze.
all right. Maze is a halfling rogue. She is about 35, weighs about 35 pounds, about 3 foot tall. She grew up in the city. She was orphaned at a young age. Her parents were murdered, so she grew up on the streets and knows her way around a little bit.
Awesome. All right. We'll just move counterclockwise. Pearl.
Hi, I'm a Tabaxi monk. Soon to be Way of the Shadow, hopefully. Gotta love to touch everything, right?
Yes. You've gotten yourself into a little bit of trouble on that.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
just
And
a little bit. Not too bad, right?
tiny bit. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. And Titus.
Titus, native Barovian, human paladin, Pearl Watcher, Pearl Chaser.
Pearl
Usually
Wrangler.
one of
I
those
mean,
things
it's
happens.
kind of hard to tell at this point.
It's hard to tell. But yeah, human paladin just trying to survive.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. I guess we'll kind of get into it. Oh, we do have one announcement, and we'll reiterate the announcement at the end. And that is next Saturday, of course, is Halloween, All Hallows Eve, all the fun and shenanigans that go on with that. We are going to take a break from our regular story, and we are going to do our version of the Halloween one-shot that was recently released by James Heck. And as part of that, this cast will be doing Fraud Must Die in Space as well. Our Twilight's Gleaming crew is going to be doing the one-shot in the morning, and then these guys will be doing the one-shot in the evening. So we will see two different crews on how they approach this. So it should be lots of Halloween shenanigans. So get your costumes, get your candy, get your trick-or-treating done early, because we're going to have some fun fighting Strahd. Because, hey, why not? It's Halloween. But bringing it back in for the game. Last we left off, and we'll do an extended recap, so Maze is up to speed. You all, the party was gathered together by an enigmatic individual named Pennyworth in a particularly unique house. You guys have been asked or tasked with finding a very rare, powerful relic that seems to only surface every 13 or so years. And that it had just recently resurfaced, so now time is of the essence to go and find it before it fades away again. Unfortunately, to get to where this item is located, you had to pass through the realm of Barovia. After doing a quick little walk through Barovia, you found yourselves across the mountains into another region called Zeresh. And in Zeresh, you came to the town of Peridon. Peridon is a quaint little town. It seems to be modeled after kind of a Victorian London type-esque area. So you have gas lanterns and lining the streets, nasty, horrible fog that reduces your field of vision to about 10 to 15 feet. As you arrived in Peridon, you witnessed or stumbled across a murder, which seemed to be the start of a series of murders that happened to occur every 13 years or so. So, figuring the best way to find the item is to track down the murders, because one obviously would lead to the other. So far, there have been 3 murders on three nights consecutively. After the third murder, with the help of Inspector Logan, who's in charge, who's the inspector tasked with tracking down the murderer, you, through a series of clues, conversation with a tailor, and with Inspector Logan's urging, you confronted a doctor who turned out to be some type of were creature. Had captured him and subdued him, and were about to take him to the local police station for further questioning. Also, while you're doing this, Pearl happened to... Because y'all were kind of leery of Inspector Logan, wanting to figure out, maybe everything's not on the up and up, and there are a few coincidences in the clues that you've discovered thus far. Pearl, of course, taking the initiative and wanting to track down Inspector Logan, decided to take it upon herself and follow. She was under the impression that the rest of the party would follow, but due to an incredibly high stealth roll, she vanished into the crowd of Peridon. Followed the inspector and started to realize, following him alone was probably not a good idea. As she followed, she wound up getting captured. And when she woke up, she saw a figure who seemed to look exactly like her. Take on her mannerisms and tone and everything about her. And the party, she then rejoined the party with with Inspector Logan as you went in to confront this doctor, and having collected him, we now come to where you guys have come out of the doctor's house. As you come out of the doctor's house, and we're trying to and discussing with Inspector Logan about taking the doctor to the police station, a constable comes running out of the fog. And he goes and he approaches Inspector Logan, whispers something in his ear. Inspector Logan replies back, and he seems to have this look of exasperation on what he's heard. So he looks to the party and tells you that he has something he has to deal with. Inspector Logan hands the constable what you've collected from the doctor's house, which is a collection of knives, a scrap of cloth with blood on it, a torn cloak that was confiscated inside, instructing him to label them as evidence in the murders, and that you guys to accompany him and take the good doctor to the police station. As you're getting ready as this is also going on, he takes a look at Tarvos and suggests that Tarvos go with him to pursue this, to look into this matter the constable had come to report to him, thinking that Tarvos's size and whatnot might be helped to kind of de-escalate whatever situation that is so important that it takes him away from taking in this potential witness or potential criminal to the police station. Where we will come in. So right now we have Pearl, Yuvia, and Titus with the doctor and the constable. The doctor is bound and restrained and does not appear to be putting up any type of struggle whatsoever. Inspector Logan is about ready to leave with Tarvos. Is there anything that wishes to be said, or any thoughts, or anything of that nature?
I would say to Inspector Logan before he leaves, is there... I see this look of alarm on your face. Is there anything else that we can do for you after we perhaps accompany this doctor to the precinct?
Probably the best thing to do would be to go there. I only have 2 guards in the precinct right now due to everything going on. That I have to keep a minimum of 2, and those are what I have. So considering as you've seen from the doctor here, he could be a potential handful. So it'd probably be best if you guys stay at the station, waiting for me to arrive, and then we can pursue interrogating him and get more information and potential confession that he is the one who committed these horrible crimes.
Is your errand in any way tied to the doctor here?
No, it's probably some squabble between a couple of the upper class. It's drama, I guess, is the simplest way I could put it. Rich people don't seem to have nothing better to do with their time. Pearl, did you want to say something?
Does that mean I have to stay still in that building? Is there plenty of things to look at?
No, there's plenty. I'm sure there's plenty of things to look at. Just remember, try not to make a mess.
Yeah, Titus pats his pack just to make sure that he still has some rope in there just in case. He's trying to do it subtly, but he's got some with him.
Are you being obvious about Pat?
No, I'm trying to just kind of nonchalantly just.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Oh, that is an 8.
That is lower than my passive perception.
Yeah. Pearl, you catch it out of the corner of your eye. He's trying to just be kind of... Yeah, it's still there.
Why are you touching your rope again?
Just making sure I've got all my supplies. I didn't want to lose anything where we're at, Just be prepared.
I don't like your rope. I'm just gonna skirts away a little bit further away.
Inspector Logan kind of looks at you. Is there anything else, or can we crack on with what we need to do?
Yes. I like to go. Let's go.
Okay. So he and Tarvos exit down the street. The four of you, or five of you, escort the doctor. You kind of take up a position where you're kind of surrounding the doctor as going through. Again, he doesn't appear to be putting up much of an issue as you're escorting him to the station. And while you're escorting him to the station, we're going to cut away to our guest and Maze. So if our guest would like to reveal himself, Mr. Alan Pinkerton, would you care to introduce yourself and your character? You're on mute, sir.
Well, didn't want to reveal too early. So, hi, I am Alan Pinkerton. I am playing a Protector Azamar sorcerer.
Alrighty. So what we're gonna pick up is Inspector Mr. Allen and Maze. You two have been working together for a little while. Kind of investigate as consulting investigators and whatnot. Maze, you've been kind of working with Alan for a little bit. Alan, of course, takes on these various consulting gigs, and he's launching his own investigation into the murders. In doing so, it takes him to, in pursuing this, his own line of inquiry has led him to a kind of a building in town that's kind of on the shadier side of the district. It is nighttime when you guys are coming down the street. You're not. Some reason the information you've collected has led you to this potential residence, but you're not sure what you'll find. How would you like to proceed?
Maze. This is the building that we have discovered in our investigations. How big is the building? 1 story, 2 story?
It's a 2-story, kind of like if you picture like the old brownstones in New York. It's a little townhome type thing. They're all kind of tight together with a few like narrow alleys in between.
Okay. Front doors, back doors? Just
front doors and back doors. You guys are approaching from the front. It doesn't appear that there's anyone there. There are no lights on inside that you can tell.
What do you think, Maze? Should we go in through the back?
That's the way I would go. Or do you want to split up and you go in the front and I'll go in the back?
I'm okay with that.
All right. Go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Come on. I'm a sorcerer, not a rogue.
Didn't say you'd be good at it.
16.
16. All right. Maze?
7.
Okay. As Maze, as you kind of go around to the back and you see there's go ahead and give me a perception check. Checking that.
Who, both of us or just Maze?
Just Maze.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. 10?
All right. Okay. Yep. All right. So Maze, as you look about, you notice this alleyway kind of leads into steps up into a set of doors. There's some windows around. Looks like there's some kind of a scuffle or something in there. Something kind of looks out of place, and it's noticeable. Like maybe there's some bits of roof tile on the ground that are broken. Not quite sure what happened, but it definitely catches your eye. Alan, as you are coming up on the front door, I guess I would imagine you want to investigate to see if it's locked in any way to try and get in. So go ahead and give me an investigation check.
9.
You
Dice
go and
jail.
Yeah, it is. The door is locked. And you kind of look to the side. There's a window, probably about 2 feet to either side of the door that you can kind of look in and see. Maze, what do you do after seeing this stuff?
I am actually going to backtrack and go back to the front to meet up with Alan and tell him what I found.
Okay. All right. Alan is trying the door at this point and looking through the windows.
Don't sneak up on people in the dark.
Sorry. Come here. I want to show you what I found.
Okay. Well, I did do a quick peek. Do I see anything in the window as I peek before I move around?
That's right. You have the dark vision.
Yeah. 60 feet.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception.
Oh man. 16 or an 18. 16 plus 1, 17.
17. All right. As you look in, you see a few rooms, a sitting room. The decor is very kind of common. It doesn't look like there's any sense of extravagancy. There are a few bits of furniture. You see a kind of a crumple in the carpet that hasn't quite gotten cleared away, and what appears to be some kind of one of the pieces of furniture was moved. It looks out of place in the room, like it normally is supposed to sit somewhere else, but you're not quite sure what. It's almost like somebody had moved it and they were in a hurry and didn't quite move it back.
Okay. I'm going to make a mental note of that and follow Maze.
Okay. You guys come around to the back. She points out where it looks like there's some bits of broken roof tile that are on the ground. You trace it back up. You see a corresponding spot on the roof line, on the gutter, right at the edge of the roof, where a couple of tiles seem to have come loose. There's some scratches on the wall as well.
Wow, this is very strange. Can we determine what kind of a creature may have made such scratches?
That would be a nature check. And both of you can do it if you're...
Well, I don't know squat. That was a nat 1 plus 2. Dice jump.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. That was a 7.
Not quite sure. I mean, it looks weird that they're on the second floor, again, at the roof line. It really kind of weird. Not quite sure what could have created them or why they in that particular location.
So, just out of curiosity, did you curse the dice of all of the people on this show?
Why would I do that? I'm sorry. My name is Steve. My name is not Will.
That's funny. All right, so I want to go up to the back door then and take a look and see if it's locked.
All right. All right. You got to check it. Go and roll investigation.
3 plus 4, 7. Dice jail.
You do tell that it is locked. Pretty easy to tell it's locked.
Any windows on the sides for me to peek in like it is on the front door?
Similar is in the front. There's a couple of windows to the side. You kind of have to lean over to get it because the stairs up are kind of narrow. They're just a little bit wider than the door.
Okay, I'll take a peek in. You know what? Spinner. What am I rolling?
That would be a perception.
It's 1, 2. Stop spinning. 17, 18.
Nice. As you look in the window, you see a couple of rooms. You see some bits of furniture, some little. There's not a lot of dust in there, and everything kind of looks like it's kind of just function over decor.
Okay. So I turn to Maze and I say, I whisper, there's something weird going on in the front room. There's some furniture out of place. There's a carpet that looks like it's got something in it. It's crumpled. don't see a lot of dust. It looks like someone's been here very recently. No lights coming in. We don't hear any sound or anything like that.
No, not that you can tell. It looks like the place is quiet. Whoever lived here or was here is not here.
I'm going to look at Alan and pull out my thieves' tools.
Yeah, that's exactly
and
what I was
just
just
be
going to
like-
say. Do it.
And I'm going to try to pick the lock on the back door.
Alrighty, let's do it. Sleight of hand for that.
That would be a dirty 20.
Oh, nice. You go in there and you kind of pull out your lock picks and you kind of click. And you open and you push the door in. You don't see any traps or anything on the door as you push it in.
I am going to just ready in action, chill touch, cantrip, just in case, as we go in.
As you both try to proceed into the house, I need you both to roll new stealth checks.
It's dirty 20. This is my dice.
15.
Okay. You guys both creep into the house. You hear who's entering first, Alan or Maze? Alan?
Yep.
Ladies first? No? Okay, I'll go.
So Alan, you go in, and as Maze follows, Maze goes to put her foot down. She hears a slight creak in the wood of the floor, but then immediately kind of picks her foot up and steps to the side to avoid making too much of a creaking noise.
Okay, I want to pause and see if anything was alerted to that potential slight creak.
Not that you can tell. You wait a breath. Everything still sounds kind of quiet.
Okay. Have we seen the stairs that lead up yet?
Kind of moving through, you do see a set of stairs that against the wall that lead up. They're kind of the opposite side of the room that had the piece of furniture that was moved, or doesn't appear to be in its proper place.
Okay. So I'm going to whisper to Maze, I think we should clear the place before we start doing a whole lot of moving of furniture to figure out what's going on in that front room.
Sounds
So
like
we
a
want
plan.
to systematically clear the first floor, not touching the furniture or the carpet yet, and then go up the stairs and systematically clear the second floor, make sure nobody's in here.
Okay. Go ahead and both of you give me an investigation check.
20.
16.
All right. As you go through the first floor, you don't notice anything or hear anyone. You do see some implements. You do see a door that's kind of ajar to a closet, and inside you see a spot that looks like a weapon rack. And the placement of the rack looks like the way the rack is set up. It looks like it would hold a crossbow, and there would be some bolts to a crossbow in it. As you kind of make your way around, you go upstairs.
There's no weapon there, right? It's just the rack fort. Okay.
You see the rack where it would sit.
Yep.
But it's not there. There's some cloaks and whatnot, outerwear that's in the closet as well. The outerwear gives you an impression that it's a gentleman who is here. The cloaks are all pretty much the same. There isn't a whole lot of variation.
Okay. All right. Upstairs. Should we move upstairs? Right.
I think so.
I'm not spending like 4 hours because obviously we're in somebody else's home, and I'm not gonna,
No, it's a quick
Right.
doing
glance.
this fairly quickly.
Quick glance around. You kind of look up. You don't see anything upstairs. You can go upstairs and check if you want, or go and investigate that piece of furniture that's out of place.
What do you think? Furniture?
Sure.
Furniture. All right, we go to the furniture and the carpet with the lump in it.
All right,
Or the
go
crumple in
ahead
it.
and looking at that, both of you give me investigation checks.
Now when I need it. 9.
16.
All right. You're trying to puzzle together. Alan Mays this time sees that it looks like the furniture was kind of pushed aside and it caused a crumple in the carpet. And as you go to look, you see a faint outline of a trapdoor that's partially covered. And it looks like if the piece of furniture was moved all the way back over, then it would cover that trapdoor. This looks like it's still partially exposed.
Should we move this piece of furniture and see what we have below?
Sounds like that's what we need to do.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull out my rapier at this point.
Okay. I want you both to roll a sleight of hand because I imagine you're not going to want to make a lot of noise as you do this.
15.
21.
Nice. So, as you both kind of get on each end and kind of lift, Alan takes a moment to readjust his grip. He almost loses it for a little bit, but able to kind of move it over to the side and go, and you find the
spell
latch.
Still circling that I had to drop.
Yeah. So as you go and you pull open, you find the latch, you pull open the trap door, and you see the set of stairs that lead down into some type of cellar.
Okay. Mace, do you have? Is it dark in there? Is there
Yes.
light? And yes, to dark or light.
It's dark. There's no light lit at all.
Mace, do you have dark vision?
I don't. It's dark down there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ambient light coming in through the windows of the house, so she's able to see a little bit, but she doesn't have nearly as clear a vision as you do.
Okay. I'm going to hold an action to cast light on her rapier
Okay.
if we get into trouble so she can see.
Okay.
And then make my way down.
All right. So as you step down, need you to make another set of stealth checks as you go down the stairs.
16.
And
All right.
Well,
Pearl.
at least one. Well, at least we're opposite. We're not always failing together.
Pearl, as you're sitting there gagged and bound in a corner, trying to contemplate where you went wrong today, you hear footsteps coming down the stairs.
I would try to make as much noise as I can.
Okay,
So
so
I'd, like, try to shake the chair or whatever I'm sitting in, try to make as much noise as I can.
you're not
Even if I have
you're
to
not
knock
so
on
much
the
in a
chair.
chair. You're kind of bound and kind of just laying there on the floor with a hood over your face, so you're not easily recognizable. But you're all bound up, so if you're sitting there, and so as Maze and Alan, you come down the stairs, you start to hear this rustling and this.
Do I see anything else since I have dark vision? Do I see anything else in the
As you
area?
kind of scan the room, you don't see anyone there. Just a figure lying prone on the ground in a corner as you come around the stairs. It just all bound, hood over the head, just making just a huge racket as as you guys approach.
All right. I just find something in the room and I go ahead and cast my light spell on it.
Okay. The light illuminates up, and you guys see the figure. Looks to be like a woman in some kind of weird dress type of outfit. It's black with little clouds on it or flowers. I can't see if I'm right or not. So,
Dragon.
oh, okay. These lizard-like dragon creatures. Yet not dragons like you're used to seeing. These are very elongated. They don't appear to have wings. They have very strange-looking creatures. As you're
Jeez, what
seeing
a
her,
strange-looking creature.
and you see as you go to look, it's like her hands are feline, and then it starts
Maybe
to
we should leave her.
totally do that. You see a tail kind of moving around a little bit, but it's also like tied to her legs. So it's like, I guess they wanted to be sure that every extremity was bound.
What trickery is this?
I
Maze,
don't-
have you ever seen such a creature?
I have not, and I kind of walk up to it and just kind of poke it a little bit with the tip of my rapier, just to see what it does.
Now, what do you do?
Well, I would try to kind of shy away from it. I don't want to get stabbed.
So as the rapier comes in and you kind of poke, she kind of freaks and slides away from it.
All right, I'll go remove the hood.
Okay.
Is she gagged too?
Yep. You pull the hood. You see the face of a feline creature. It looks like a tabaxi. You've seen a few tabaxis live in Paradon, so it's not completely out of the ordinary. But
Okay.
you see her mouth she's bound. She's kind of blindfolded. I mean, they went all out to make sure she could not see, hear, or anything.
Okay. I will pull the gag down and go, ma'am, I'm Alan. This is Maze.
Yay!
Who
Somebody
are you?
made me be able to move again. I want to move.
Put the gag back on.
I know. That's what I was thinking. How about you calm down a moment and tell us what happened?
I was following the inspector, and he went into a building, and I climbed on the wall to look through the window, and then I saw some people looking at me, and so I tried to climb up, and I touched the roof, and it broke, and I fell, and then all of a sudden they were around me. I did so sorry. and
Slow down. Which inspector?
forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Okay. Would you know him if you saw him again?
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay. So should we? I don't know why I'm saying this, but should we untie her?
I don't know, but I have a feeling I know why they tied her up in the first place.
Yeah, it's getting quite obvious.
And I'll just
Dear Lord.
I'll just take my rapier and like cut the ropes and free her.
And she'll stand up right away and kind of like, kind of fidget and wiggle and like rub her tail and everything else, trying to get it all like back to normal.
And Pearl, you see that off to the side on one of the on like a little set of shelves or whatnot. You see all of your gear, any that's been sitting there. You notice that the ball of ribbon is not there.
Ribbon, where did it go? And I'm like looking all around after I've grabbed everything. And
you notice a few other items of yours that aren't there, but the majority of the stuff there is like anything that whoever the imposter who took your resemblance, they took only what they absolutely needed and left the rest.
Yeah, you're not going to tell us about that. You're only going to tell us.
You told me to slow down before I answer that part.
So if we look around, do we find any indication or who may own this house, or renting it or leasing it or whatever they did back in the Victorian days? No.
Give me a history check or knowledge.
Not the worst.
Yep.
Oh, nope, I don't know squat. Not 1 + 2.
Maze, do you want to make a history check?
Please.
That's 2 nat 1s. More dice jail.
16.
16. Okay. You know that obviously the two of you had been researching and taking a look, and you remember some vague bit about the potential the area might be where where one of the inspectors for the local constabulary resides here. An Alan Logan.
Did you see someone take my ball of ribbon? Did you see anyone else?
No.
Someone took my ball of ribbon.
We just got here.
Oh, you know what? I bet it's that other Pearl. I bet she took my ribbon.
What do you mean another Pearl? Wait, what is Pearl? Is that your name?
That's me. I'm Pearl.
Dear God.
So there's 2 of you
Yes, 2. Me.
running around in the
there's 2?
city.
Is she your sister, your twin?
She's the first time I've ever met her. I don't know who she is.
But she looks like you?
Yes.
Does she talk and act like you too?
Yes.
Oh,
But
Lord.
And we found this creature earlier that looked like somebody else, and we killed it. It turned into this really ugly thing, and I threw up. And so maybe it's one of those things.
At hearing that, if you
Maze,
want
do
to
you
make
have my
another,
aspirin?
if you want to make another history check, at hearing her story.
5. You've cursed my dice. Same dice I use in the morning session.
13.
What was that, Maze?
13.
Okay. You've heard rumors, urban legends about people who have vanished, and when they turn back up, they didn't quite act the same. But most of that you've dismissed as, just too much drink in the local pubs. People it's just all urban legend kind of deal. You haven't found or heard of any concrete proof of this.
Oops. Question for you,
Answer.
kind of out of character. Someone did I think they did a wild magic thing earlier.
No.
Oh, I thought I saw one.
Not that I will double check.
Because I did cast the light spell. Could have sworn I saw wild magic.
No.
Okay, good.
No, but
People
I
were
apologize I missed this. But you guys also have a blessing.
Oh,
+1 to all rolls for the length of the stream tonight.
thank you.
We need it.
Yay, so I got a 6 on my history.
Yeah, unfortunately, that +1 didn't help with any of the past rolls so far, but a few of them you'd already succeeded, just guaranteed success. But the few that were bad, they were bad.
They were bad. They were really bad. I know, 2 nat 1s. I mean, come on. What are we, an hour into this? Not even.
Roughly?
Yeah.
So after I'm done looking around and everything, it's like, what you guys looking at?
We were looking to see if we could determine who lives here.
Oh, okay. Can I help?
Of course.
No, the inspector came in here.
The inspector? Which one? The same one you don't know, remember his name?
Yeah, that one.
Was it an Alan Logan?
That sounds right.
Sounds right. Hi. Maze, did you have my aspirin?
And I hand him some aspirin.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look into your little medicine kit and your herbalism kit if you have one, and for making poisons and whatnot, and you find something that's a facsimile. It's a very common thing with him. Every so often, it's a splitting headache based on the people you guys talk to. This one seems particular because normally it's like you have a lot longer conversation before his head starts hurting.
Maze, it's going to be a long night.
So can I help out with like trying to figure out the house and stuff like that?
Well, I think Scoop said we're not going to find anything else. So, Maze, should we go down to the station and see if we can find Mr. Logan and find out exactly what he thinks he's up to?
And I have friends. Too. They can probably help.
You have friends?
Yeah, I have this big minotaur, and he let me touch his horn, and he's nice. And then I have this one guy. He keeps trying to tie me up with a rope, and I don't know why. And then there's this.
I can't imagine why.
While Pearl is having this conversation, Maze, you look about. You see a cap that kind of catches your eye, and you go and you pick it up. It is, for the sake of identify, it is a cap of water breathing that has been gifted by the trickster that you happen to find.
Yay!
Ooh,
Thank
you.
you.
Get to add that to your inventory.
awesome. Thank you, guys.
And Pearl, you do have a D4 inspiration that you could use if you so need to.
Okay.
So make note of that, because it only lasts for the length of the stream.
Which character gets to use it, this one or the other one?
Pearl.
Which Pearl?
As I said, Pearl. That's how this works.
Should we go find Mr. Logan now and find out what exactly he thinks he's up to?
Yeah, I don't think
He's-
he's
I like it.
Actually, I thought he was. I thought there was something weird about him. I was following him, and he was with the people that.
If you have friends, where are your friends? Why were your friends not with you when you were following?
They were supposed to follow me. They told me they were going to follow me, and they didn't.
Well,
We
let's
have
go down
talked
there.
all the time about this, that they're supposed to follow me, and they don't.
Okay.
My family follows me all the time.
Please stay with us. Don't run off. Stay with us.
Let's go find her friends. Maybe they're with the inspector.
I'm trying not to metagame and go rope around her. Get one of those little kid leashes, that you strap on the wrists. Yank.
No, she doesn't need that. She needs like the whole harness.
I'd like run out and bring me back, and I'd run out and just bring me back.
Please stay with us. If there's another one of you, I don't want to lose the real you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good, does it?
No, it does not.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
So the three of you exit the house
Through the back door.
through the back door, making sure
Close
to
it back. We put the furniture back where it was. Try and make sure the crumple was in the same spot. Close the door.
go ahead and
relock it.
go ahead and give me a deception check.
You left a wrinkle in the carpet.
It
was
when
there.
we got here. Thank you, guys. 22.
All right, you're able to, best of your memory, replace everything back exactly the way it was that you found it. You guys exit out. Faye sits there and redoes the lock so it doesn't look like it's been tampered with, and you guys start heading off toward the police station.
Taking the back roads because I don't want to run into anybody on the main roads.
That's fair.
Ooh, I
And,
really go down this road. Yay!
and now we will cut back over to the police station where Titus, Pearl, Yuvia, one of the constable and the doctor are about to enter in. And this is where we will go ahead and so you guys come up to the police station.
Ooh, interesting. Busy.
All right, so you guys come up to this nondescript police building. As you guys, as you enter in, you see that there is one guard. There's one constable, kind of standing watch at a desk as you come in. He greets you. So it's one of the inspectors. He greets you as you come in and says, "What can I do for you, gents?"
We're bringing this person in. He was bad.
Okay. Constable Wardle comes in, kind of talks it over. It's like, Inspector Logan said we need to put this guy in one of the cells for when he comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, as you guys come in, you come in and you come to the cells and you realize that, and Wardle sits there and goes, did the inspector give you guys any keys?
You see my face. Titus is shaking his head. No, he did not.
He has a spare set in his office. We're not supposed to go in there, but I don't think he'll have a problem if you go in there, because he hasn't told you he can't go in. He told us we couldn't go.
I'll do it. Yay! I can
Okay.
look at me.
Pearl, why don't you stay watching? I'll go and if I send you in there, let's be honest, you'll probably play with anything shiny, and we want to be.
These are shiny.
There's plenty of shiny bars for you to look at. So why don't you?
Oh,
At this point, Titus just starts to venture towards where he thinks the office or where the office is.
One of the other constables who's with you all point you over to the inspector's office. You open the door and you look inside. It's a pretty nondescript office, very plain. You notice there's a desk with a coat rack. Lying on the desk is a black cape. And you notice a black cape, looks like a sewing kit on the fabric. As you come around and check the drawers, you do find a drawer that has a key in it. Looks like a lot for like the looks like the appropriate kind of key for prisons, for the cells. The cloak is go ahead and give me an investigation check on the cloak.
All right, -1 modifier. Let's see what we got.
Oh no, it gets negated because you get a +1 now.
So that is a even 9.
You notice that the cloak is torn. And upon further inspection, you notice the tear seems familiar.
I would have gotten a really close look at the original material. So the Uvia has the fabric.
Okay. We'll say for Uvia comes in with you, if you call out to Uvia to come take a look, Uvia comes in, pulls out the piece of fabric, and you place it, and it fits perfectly.
I'll say to Uvia and say, something's not right about all of this. This is a perfect match.
Uvia is equally disconcerted by this. It's like, why would Professor Logan lie to us?
I feel like he's been lying to us from the very beginning.
Quite possibly.
I don't think we should spend too much time here. We should find out where Logan is at.
Didn't the inspector say he would meet us here?
Yes, but given that he's already lied to us once, I don't trust him to wait.
Don't trust him to... What do you mean don't trust him to wait?
I don't trust him to go off and be away from us and then wait for him to come bringing whatever he wishes to come with.
So far, he doesn't think we have any... Do you think he has any suspicions of us?
I just found it odd that we would be waiting here. I understand, he said, with the guards, that there weren't many guards here and to keep a close eye on this doctor, but again, something just doesn't feel right.
What do you think we should do? Should we ambush him here or find somewhere else to ambush him? Or confront him? I mean, if he doesn't know if he doesn't know we know, then we have some element of surprise, do we not?
I suppose this is true. If we wait, we must be on guard.
Okay. How do we prepare?
Of that, I'm not too sure. Perhaps we can spend this time to get a better sense on these constables and this inspector to see if they are aligned with him or with the side of good.
Maybe we should put the doctor in the cell first, and then start to address what's going on.
I agree.
So you and Uvia come back.
Mm-hmm.
You have the key. Give the key to Wardle. Wardle opens the cell. You push the doctor in, closes and locks the cell, and says, I'll get and hand you back over the key because he's not stupid. He doesn't want to get caught with it because then it would be a clear indication he went into the office. So you go and put the key back.
I'll send Yuvia to put the key back.
Okay, Yuvia goes, puts the key back based on what it said. Now you guys, and she comes back. So now it's the three of you and the constables. And what do you want to do?
So we have how many people are in the room?
Where you guys are at.
Touch those keys.
You guys would be just outside the cell rooms right now.
Mm-hmm.
Inspector Logan's office is right here. So you know what? We'll go ahead and bring up the map. The map. Alrighty.
While the map is coming up, Lebanese has a question. Inspiration for bits, is the DM an option?
Yes, the DM is an option. Just make sure you specify that when you claim your bits and you put in the message who it's for. Please and thank you.
We don't have enough trouble with our rolls already.
And it is. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate that.
Scoob, are we the players able to see anything on Roll20 yet? Is that what we're bringing up?
Yeah, the map is up. The stream can view the map now.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I got a D4 inspiration.
I think that's the old map, isn't it?
No, this is the police station. I made a police station and I made a doctor's house. This is all using those wonderful. This one's actually using the dungeon tiles reincarnated that you can pick up on Roll20 and allow to kind of place different interior and exterior structures and then draw in the lines for the walls. Taking a quick note. The question on the HP bar. The HP bar is to benefit the Dungeon Master as well, and it is knocked down with follows, subs, direct donations through the support panel on the Twitch page. There's also that list for view interactions, which lets you know you could do the bits, you could do a direct donation, or if you've been around long enough and have channel points or the bubbles, you can use the bubbles to reclaim things to affect how the stream goes. So you guys are the tricksters and the tricksters, so you can influence the world. And if this morning was any indication, you guys can influence the world in a lot of really weird and random ways. I think somebody had a beard of feathers for a couple of days. So, sorry I did not mention that earlier. But yeah, every time the HP bar gets knocked down, I get to do something cool or roll an at 20 or throw in a wandering monster, whatever is appropriate for the mood at the time that it happens. So, all right, now that we have that, you guys are there. You can see you're all kind of hanging out around the cell. The doctor is in the cell, safe and tucked away. What do you guys wish to do?
Wave at the person in the cell.
What's that, Carl?
Wave at the person in the cell. I can put my hand through the cell and wave.
Okay. It's a very tiny window, so you kind of tricked your hand and get it in there, and you can do the.
That's so awful.
All right. So, what do you wish to do?
Ask Wordle, where did Inspector Logan
An altercation in one of the pubs. Somebody was insulting someone else, and it started to escalate. And it's better that some political things are involved, so it's kind of handle it quietly and whatnot. happens a couple times a week with this particular guy. He just can't seem to hold his drink.
I want to roll insight on that.
By all means.
Let's see if he is being. So that's a 16.
He's holding a few things back, but genuinely the basics of what he's saying is truthful. Just there's some details he's holding back, clearly, because it's one of those things people of influence tend not to want to be talked about, especially when people fear that their livelihood or status could be affected by those people of power. Yeah. Oh, I need to fix that.
Musical chairs. I am not playing Pearl.
Yes.
Oh, come on, she's fun. You played up a tabaxi before. Come on.
Oh, Maze is in the right spot.
I just like people. Like, they just can't respond. So why doesn't the inspector let you hold on to the keys? Aren't you supposed to be able to put people in the jails?
Typically, inspectors here when potential criminals are brought in. It's
Okay.
But obviously, with everything being trying right now, it's probably the other anybody else who has the keys is not here.
I have an odd question for you. I don't know if you'll be able to answer this or not, but if I understand Inspector Logan has a relationship with the tailor and could very easily take his cloak to the tailor to be mended, why is there a sewing kit in his office? Certainly he has the means to do it, right?
Sometimes he's been working a lot of hours. He may not have had time to take it. Figured he'd just take care of it quietly. I'm not really sure. If any of us had known, we probably would have taken it for him. He does work a lot of hours.
I am thinking some very bad ideas right now.
Well, you guys have you have a little bit of time before the inspector comes. Is there anything you want to do to prepare for his arrival? Do you fill Pearl in on the conversation you and Yuvia had?
I do not.
Okay.
Aw, what did I do to you?
So, let me see.
The list is long.
The list is
Long and distinguished, and sometimes you have to ask, do you want it in alphabetical or chronological?
So, the area where the cells, is this like a big open floor plan where there's just cells in one part of the room, or is
the cells are in one corner.
Mhm.
There's a narrow hallway with a set of doors that lead out into another hallway. A set of offices. There's one room that's locked off. That's an armory. The guards let you kind of wander. The constables that are there realize that believe that you have Inspector Logan's trust, so they don't really bar you from most of looking about the space. There is a armory or weapons area that is under lock and key that they don't let you in for obvious reasons. A couple of offices. Actually, no. Inspector Logan's office is back here. So there's just a couple of varied rooms and whatnot, but it's a central hallway. It's about 5 or 8 feet wide, and then you have the various rooms indoors. Most everything is lit with lanterns, so plenty of light to see from it inside.
Well, I suppose we just make ourselves comfortable until he returns.
Okay.
And I'll kind of position myself with my back against a wall
All right.
where I can
Go ahead
very easy.
and move your characters around on the Roll20 map where you want to be positioned. Obviously, Maze and Alan, not yet.
Oh, I still have just a black screen, so I can't.
Still have just a black screen?
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, you two do as well, not yet.
Where's the front door, Scoop?
Front door is right here.
I can't see where you're.
Oh. There we go. Sorry about that. Oops. How about now?
Okay, I can see me now.
Yep, this is the front door.
Okay.
Here's the cells. This is the Inspector Logan's office. This is the armory area that you're not allowed in.
So this is the front. This is the front door here. Okay. Okay. Very good. So I really want to position myself right here at the very entrance.
Okay.
And with my back kind of in a corner, just looking where I can not have anybody sneak up on me.
Gotcha. Where do you want to have Uvia stationed?
Within 5 feet of me.
Okay.
Probably just yeah.
Right there keeping watch, or right here next to the door? Okay.
Yeah, right there keeping watch.
All right. Pearl, what about you?
Unless they tell me to stay by them, I think I'm going to wander around in the house, in the building. Just wander around.
I need you to pick a spot where you'll be when Inspector Logan comes in.
I'll be in the hallway.
You'll be in that hallway?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, they didn't say anything. You didn't tell me anything. Ready.
Yeah, all I said was just we're making ourselves comfortable until he arrives.
All right. After a little while, Inspector Logan comes in. Sees you all kind of standing there. It's like, casually asks, did any problems bringing the good doctor here?
No problems. It seems to be rather uneventful. How are things on your side?
Frustrating as always. I really wish these so-called gentlemen would learn there are bigger things to worry about than who insulted who over what race.
I'm gonna roll insight on that too. I don't trust him.
Okay.
Oh, that was so close to.
You have been gifted a nat 20.
Oh wait, I was?
Yes, you were.
Oh, how about that? All right.
BC, it's been give Titus at least one good roll.
Thank you. All right, so nat 20 on insight. Give me the deets, man.
All right. With the nat 20, some of his story doesn't seem to make sense compared to what Constable Wardle told you. But he definitely gives the impression that he's hiding something. You don't 100% believe him, especially with everything stacking up.
Yes, Wardle was telling me a little bit about it. He said something about pub, some people getting rowdy and some issues with that. So hopefully it wasn't too taxing on you.
No, should be fine. Everything's fine. Shall we go and interrogate the good doctor?
Yes, please lead the way.
Okay. Inspector Logan comes around. All right. He goes and he's talking to.
Which way did you go down, Stu?
Went down this hallway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He greets Pearl and then comes around the corner, making his way toward the cell block.
Okay. All right, I'll see Pearl and I follow behind her.
Okay. He obviously follows in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Spectre comes in. All right. Talks to Constable Wardle. Constable Wardle leaves. Exits out, goes to carry on with his duties for the night. Okay. You guys are all there in that quaint little corner. What do you want to do?
Hi. Waving to the inspector.
Who are you waving to?
The inspector, because he just came in, you know, and waving at him.
Oh.
Kind of gives you a nod.
I guess I would wave at you guys too, because you were in a different room. So hi.
Yes. Hello, Pearl. So is the good doctor still unconscious, or is he waking up?
No,
yet?
he's been awake. He walked in there, and all the time you were walking, he was going on and on about the inspector doesn't smell right. He's innocent. Pleading that he had nothing to do with this, and commenting that Inspector Logan doesn't smell right.
So I look over to the doctor, and can I get an insight on the doctor if he's scared of the inspector, like he's not kind of freezing up or anything like that?
All right, go ahead.
Uh, 11.
The doctor doesn't appear to be scared, but he is upset. And he's pleading that this is all wrong. He's innocent. He knows nothing about about the killings. Hadn't done anything with it, and he keeps going on and on. And Inspector Logan just is not right. Something about him is not right. Inspector Logan seems to have no interest in listening to his pleading, and it seems utterly convinced that the doctor is the one who committed the murders, and his whole tone and his questioning of trying to get him to confess shows in with that. It's almost like he's completely ignoring the comments that are being made about him.
And I'm looking at the doctor and I'm like, why are you saying he smells funny? That's not very nice. I like him. He's nice.
Titus is in a tight spot.
He just kind of looks at you, takes a... And you smell like him. You don't smell right either.
You're so mean. I don't like him. He's mean. I hide behind Titus.
You're hiding behind me?
Maybe.
Is that right?
All right.
That's what I said, and then I just realized what I said. Yeah, I said that.
All right, so she kind of it's a pretty tight hallway. It's 10 foot by 10 foot, so little area there. So she kind of moves in. She now is behind you, Titus. Inspector Logan's in front of you. Off to the side is Yuvia.
I must say, Inspector, something about this just doesn't fit right.
What do you mean?
As guilty as this doctor is of attacking us, he could have been defending himself. And we charged in. I'm not entirely convinced that this is the guy. Which brings us back to the list.
Okay.
It's a very long list, but perhaps we need to keep looking.
Is there anyone else you would think that needs to be questioned? Let's go and discuss this in another room.
Okay.
Kind of leads over and leads you into an office across the hall from the cells. Pearl, where do you want to be as coming in? Because Yuvia is going to come off to the side here. That's where you're gonna be. Okay. So you're in the office. Inspector Logan is standing in front of you. It's like, all right. So who do you think is who do you think we should be investigating next?
Well, take out your list. Let's have a look.
Pulls out the list. Tries to go through it. Kind of says, kind of babbling on about different people on the list, and keeps focusing. On this list, the doctor is the one who has the most capability of doing this.
And can I get like really close so I can like really look at the list? So like probably go right in front of this inspector, like looking in, like almost where I can't see the list because I'm looking at it.
All right. So bring Titus over as well so he can get a close look. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay. Yuvia's over there, so you guys are around Inspector Logan looking at the list. And he, as I said, he's going through each name that he's familiar with, and seems to be quite familiar with quite a few of them, and keeps focusing in on the doctor of all the people on the list, who seems the most capable and fits the profile of the killer.
So, can I see? I'm to the side of Logan. What type of armaments and weaponry does he have visible?
He seems to have a long cloak and a blade, a dagger of some type, dagger. Doesn't appear to have any projectile-based weapon aside from his heavy crossbow that has kind of slung on his back, and the quiver with the bolts in it.
I'm gonna make a bad decision. I'm going to glance over at Yuvia.
Hmm?
Just kind of a signal saying, "Okay, get ready." And then I'm going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to attempt to. I'm going to draw my sword and try to force Inspector Logan to disarm.
Okay, so you draw your sword, you hold it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yuvia draws her sword. Yuvia have a sword? Oh, good. Yep, she draws her short sword as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of stands at the ready.
Okay. And at this point, I guess I'm going to try and it's intimidation. So I'm going to try to intimidate Logan to disarm, and tell him that I saw the cloak, and that his name, or at least a Logan, appears on that list, and I have to find out what the truth is.
Alrighty.
All right, so that's a 15 on an intimidation check.
And I'd probably yell at Titus for being mean.
I can't hear you.
I said I would yell at Titus for being mean. Like, why are you doing that to him? He's nice. I just said, why are you doing that? That's mean.
I have questions. And his story is not adding up.
Well, he's proven to be our friend.
I am not so...
What did you get on your intimidation?
15.
15. Okay. He kind of looks at you and says, are you sure about this course of action?
I am unsure of your motives, and it seems to be growing, this uncertainty. There are too many questions that have gone unanswered. There's too many holes in this story.
Okay. He calls out for the other two to come in. So the other two constables come in and are on either side behind, and he kind of meets your stare again and says, are you sure you don't want to put your weapons down before you're locked up for threatening an officer?
And are these is Wardle? He's gone. Wardle's gone, right?
Wardle's gone. It's just the two constables that appear to be desk jockeys.
I'll say this to Logan. I could have struck you down outright, but because I am not one to be too hasty in my actions or too quick to come to judgment, I did not. I offered you this opportunity to disarm and to have this conversation. Your name, or at least an A. Logan, is on this list, yet you have altogether dismissed that fact. Now, either it is you, or you are defending someone you care about. Now, which is it?
It seems you're much smarter than anticipated. I believe now would be the time to take you off the board. Wouldn't you agree, my dear?
Yes, I like that idea.
See, I knew this is a bad idea.
And he starts to shift form into that of a wolf-like creature that you fought earlier this evening. And that is what we'll take our break. And come back with our initiative rolls.
Oh my God. Yeah, you don't give out all your cards when you're surrounded.
I had to play it like my character. That's all I'm saying.
That's great. That's great. That's perfect. So it was just kind of seeing how we get to that point. Now we're at that point, and we'll take a quick break, stand up, walk around, grab a drink, and we'll come back. We'll run, and we're back. How are we doing? Got a couple of questions and comments that came in, so we're going to address those first. First up was a question from Kit Matari. Is Paradon part of the Dread Realms? If referring to the Dread Realms, it looks like the Dread Realms were part of 3rd edition Wizards of the Coast. Possibly. This is actually part of the original Ravenloft campaign setting for 2nd edition. Originally, Ravenloft was a much larger area, much like Faerun or Dragonlance or some of those other places. So where you just had multiple areas, water adventures, sea stuff on sea, as well as places like Zeresh, various sublands. So that's where this originally came from. It was as later editions went on that Ravenloft was condensed down to just the Valley of Barovia. And even then, it was a very small version of the Valley of Barovia. And with 5th edition, they expanded it out and added like Kresk and Valaki and some of those other things. The original, like 4th edition Ravenloft setting had the village of Barovia, Tesser Falls, 1 or 2 other places, and then the castle.
Wow.
So
It's interesting to see how it switches around a lot, you know?
it does. And when in the original, from what I'm gathering from the original campaign setting for Ravenloft, there was a lot of sub bosses. Yes, Strahd was at the top, so to speak, but there were many other demon lords, for lack of a better description, that you could deal with inside the campaign setting.
Cool.
Back in the old TSR days, where they just had stuff all over the place. Another comment from Mr. Chili. I think this is episode 6, not 7, unless I missed one in the log. Yes, this is episode 7. Episode 6 was on the 10th of October. We did not have an episode last week because I wasn't feeling very well. Apparently, last couple of weeks of having earbuds in my ears every other day finally caught up with me because I have a lot of sinus and ear issues from my youth. So I tend to, if I have it too much in there, it doesn't do well. So heavily prone on sinus infection. One of the reasons I'm glad I'm on CPAP treatment, because I started doing CPAP. I don't have sinus issues in the winter anymore. Great. So, comment fuzz in the background. I'm not sure what you're hearing. It might have been a switch over from one sound source to another, but I'll listen to it on the recording later and see if I can't pinpoint that. Yep, and of course got the pics. So that is all the questions and comments that have come in for the first half. Reminder again, for all y'all watching, you can influence the stream through the viewer interactions list on the Twitch panel, whether it's bits, donations, or channel funds if you have enough channel bubbles. So loads of fun. Did have a couple come in. So Titus, you do have a nat 20 that you can use on your neck in the near future, and of course I have. And then we have a random inspiration. So going to roll a d6. And if I get a 1, I re-roll. 2 through 6 will be one of the 5 of us. Cool. For it. Maze gets an inspiration that she can use before the end of the stream. It'll be a D4 inspiration that you can use at any time it's appropriate, or you feel you need that extra couple of points.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you to the tricksters. Got to love the tricksters. So, bringing it back in, are we ready for some initiatives?
No.
At least you're honest about it, which I appreciate. I appreciate that. So, let's roll our initiatives. Titus, what is your initiative roll?
12.
12. Okay. Pearl?
13.
Ooh. Yuvia? It's going to be... I will roll that because I will be playing my multiple personalities today. Ooh. It's a 19 for Yuvia's per initiative today. Maze, what is your initiative?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know we were there.
You're
I
going to
didn't
be.
either.
That will be a 21.
21. Nice. And Alan?
17.
Nice. Alrighty.
Does that mean the real Pearl gets to make another one?
No, Pearl will be going on Pearl's initiative. She's just going in
I mean, it makes it easier.
All right, so we're gonna start off with Maze, Alan, and Pearl. Since Maze is at the top of the initiative order, you guys. Oh, you don't need to see that.
Behind the screen.
Oh, do that at a later point. So the three of you have come up to the entrance. Move somebody. Okay, so you guys have coming up on the entrance to the police station. Maze, you are first. What do you wish to do?
Well, I guess I'm just going to walk in because we technically don't know what's going on right now, right?
Nope, technically you don't. You're just coming in.
Just going to walk through the front door.
Alrighty, you should have control on your character on roll 20 if you want to test that for me real quick. Alrighty, so yeah, you walk into that first entryway.
Oops.
You see a door that's ajar. Other side of the wall. There you go. You see a door that's open, and you hear some raised voices and what sounds like the beginnings of a fight.
Well, I've got to go check it out.
Alrighty. Your movement. You're what, 25 foot of movement?
Yep.
Alright, that would bring you roughly to that point in the hallway. You want to move yourself to there? Alrighty. Next up is Yuvia. Seeing you're seeing Inspector Logan kind of shift into this were form. Yuvia is going to pull out her silver dagger and attempt to attack Inspector Logan with that. $23 to hit, which will hit. For 7 points of damage. Most impressive. Alrighty, which will bring us to Alan. You see Maze has stepped inside and kind of started to rush down the hallway.
20, 25, 30. And I hear the sounds of combat, right?
Yep, you're hearing the sounds of combat from behind this door down the hallway.
I'm going to use a dash action then to get there.
Okay.
I can't see the door down the hallway though. I'm assuming, am I at it?
Yeah, you're one more step up and you're at it. Yep. Now you're just outside the door. It's slightly ajar. You hear some raised voices and you're hearing but not inside.
All right, well, I'm just gonna charge right in.
Okay. As you walk in, you see two constables on either side who are starting to look a little green around the gills, so to speak. In the center of the room, you see Pearl. You see an elf. You see a human. Human's got his sword drawn. The elf has a dagger and a short sword. And in the center, you see a creature that is changing into like a hybrid wolf type creature.
Okay, would I recognize this as Alan Logan?
This point, not really. It's pretty far along in the transformation.
Okay. Well, when I walk in, I will say, aha, the fake Pearl. You are an imposter, my dear. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm doing my job.
Your job?
All right. Maze, did you want to dash into the room as well? Because you could use your dash.
I did, please.
All right.
It will be the last job you do, my dear.
So the two of you for kind of in there. The constables are going to basically cut and run because they're not wanting any part of this.
Surrounded in the back guys already. Weird, 'cause I'm talking about the bad pearl right now. I'm like, oh no, but I don't want to be. Oh no.
And I basically want to stand in the doorway. So the two that snuck out, I'm not going to let the bad pearl or the other creature out the door.
All right, which brings us to...
I shut the door and stand in front of it.
Okay. We'll have you trying to do that. All right, this brings us to Pearl and Pearl.
Which one do you want me to do first? The good one or the bad one?
All right, you get to choose. How would you can start with the imposter or start with your real self?
I'll start with my real self. I'm rooting for my real self. So,
all right.
I have 40 foot of movement. I can almost get in there without dashing. It's so close. I'll go ahead and dash it so I can get in there. So I can't
Okay.
You! That's Evil Pearl will probably attack the other Pearl just because that way we'll tussle together. You know what I mean?
All right.
I'll move closer and we'll attack with her.
For the joys of watching multiple personality, go ahead and roll an attack against yourself.
All right, sure. All right, so let's see here. That would be an unarmed strike. Hit. And that is an 18 hit.
18 does hit you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right, roll damage.
Strike. And that is a 6 damage.
So you take 6 damage from yourself.
Yep. This is fun.
That really does sound as funny as we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right, this will bring us to Logan, who finishes transformation and will attack Yuvia because Yuvia stabbed him. Attack with 18 to hit Yuvia, which meets, so do the damage. Four points of damage to Yuvia. Yep. Alrighty. Which brings us to... oh. It's 2 attacks. So... nope, second attack is a miss. So brings us to Titus.
I'm going to use my nat 20.
You also have an inspiration you've been gifted as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to
Just
use
make a note of it.
Okay. Use my nat 20. Since I already have my longsword drawn, I will slash with my longsword.
It will hit.
All right. So it's full damage on the dice.
Full damage on the dice plus what you roll.
Okay. All right, so that is 14. Yes, 14 damage, and I'm going to use a spell slot
Okay.
to add 2d8 of radiant damage.
Okay.
And nine damage.
9 plus 16.
Yes.
Because it is a crit.
Right. Right. So 25 points of damage.
Plus, so total damage is what?
So
14 plus
14 plus the
25,
yeah,
I think. All right, so that's 39 points of damage.
Nice.
On that hit. Oh, played. So, yeah. He is definitely in that shape. Brings us to Maze.
Sorry, I was paying attention to something in the chat. Who did he hit? The were creature?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Okay,
Titus hit the were creature using his nat 20 he was gifted by the tricksters and added a smite to it, which all dice plus all that, so it was a 39 point hit on a crit. So yeah, that was a nasty piece of damage. He's not doing so well. Maze, you're up. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to move up about 5 feet.
Okay.
And hit the weird werewolf-looking thing.
Alrighty, go and roll for attack.
That is a 22.
22 will hit. Roll damage.
I'm guessing I don't get sneak attack because we're not actually friends yet. Oh, I do?
Yeah.
All right. For 7 points of damage.
Well, how would you like to do this?
Ooh. I'm just going to take my rapier and poke it in the belly and just kind of hope he pops like a balloon.
He doesn't pop like a balloon.
Aww.
However, as you go and Titus came around with that slash with his sword. He was kind of weaving there from the impact. You come up, you just opening and you just go through. He takes it as he starts to, and he falls. Once he falls, hits the ground, you see his form start to ripple and shift. First, it shifts back to Inspector Logan, and then it ripples and shifts again to the coachman that Titus and Pearl would recognize, and then it shifts again to this strange, elongated, disproportional creature.
We're gonna have to make con save again.
Brings us to Yuvia, who is going to turn her attention to Fake Pearl. What is Yuvia going to do? It's going to attack with their short sword. A 15 hit, Pearl.
Needs to beat it.
Alrighty. 8 points of damage to Fake Pearl.
He has a max of 15, so I don't know how you want to check that.
Alrighty.
However you want to do that.
Brings us to Mr. Pinkerton. Alan?
Okay. I'm going to cast a spell, and then I need to ask you a question. So I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on this new creature that's appeared.
Okay.
Let me read it. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell, and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper. When you do, there's a wisdom saving throw behind that. So that's what I want to do with the creature. But then my question to you is, can I use 2 sorcery points to twin the spell and also cast it on Fake Pearl? It is a concentration spell.
So you want to cast the same spell on the same person twice?
Well, it twins it, right? So I want to do one on this weird creature and then one on Fake Pearl. I don't, because they're 2 separate creatures standing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can twin spell it.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. All right. I learned the initial thoughts. Let me go back to the spell, detect thoughts. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind at that moment.
All right.
And at this point, there's no save for it.
No, at this point, there's no save. So as you do this, and this is right about the same time that he's been stabbed for the first one, the Inspector Logan, as he's been stabbed, he starts to fall down. The surface thoughts for him are failure and lamenting on this is the end, and that thing that his boss is not going to be happy as his life fades away. On Fake Pearl, the surface thought is escape.
You are not going anywhere, my dear.
Fair enough. Any bonus actions or anything you wish to do?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Alrighty. Brings us to Pearl and Fake Pearl.
Pearl goes, you didn't do it right. And so she's gonna punch her back, like this. And she's going to use flurry of blows with hers.
Alrighty.
First, we're going to do the first attack here, and that is a 14 to hit, which will not hit. And then the flurry of blows, which this one, and that one does hit at 23 to hit. Damage for that is 6, and then the rest of the flurry of blows is a 12 to hit. It does not hit, so I only get 1 hit.
Alright, roll damage.
So it's 6 damage.
Alrighty.
Oh. Sorry, go ahead. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
And that will be the end of my turn. Of real Pearl. Let me I did it. Okay. And then the Fake Girl, if she's trying to escape one, I think she would try to tussle with the other one to kind of confuse who's who. Maybe to try and survive.
Alright.
So she tries to pounce on her and roll on purpose to try and confuse who's who.
Alright, go ahead and roll a deception check for Fake Pearl.
Okay. That is a 15 deception.
Okay. See, Alan, she believes she's deceived, but Alan, casting that spell, knows which one's which, so he's not deceived. The others haven't turned to address her just yet.
So there is a conversation in the chat going on. To twin, you must cast a spell that targets one creature. Detect thoughts, you're targeting yourself. When when you cast the spell, you focus your mind on any one creature, so that the twinning may not work.
No, I need to double check it. I do appreciate the chat having the conversation on that. I just need to emphasize that we try not to do the backseat gaming as best we can. We'll take that and look at it. Right now, we'll let it stand as it stands, and we'll go from there. So even if we did retcon back where you don't twin it, you still focus on her thoughts because the other one's dead. It's still good. That would still be
switch it.
That would still be the thing is going with that. So
okay,
we'll go with that.
I didn't want to do something that my character is not allowed to do, of course.
That's fair, which is one of those things those kinds of things will actually break the flow, and I try not to go into that. But
okay,
going forward, let's try and be mindful of that in the chat. Love the dialogue. Wouldn't mind looking back into it. Just right now in the middle of this, it's kind of distracting.
Apologies.
I have enough distractions. Not nearly as many as Pearl, but I have enough distractions. But so Fake Pearl tries to tussle, and does Fake Pearl try to run away, which is going to be her thing.
Yeah, because you said that was on her mind. So yeah, but if she does try to run away, then because if she thinks she's deceived, she'll think that she's kind of hidden or whatever of like who's who. But if she tries to run away, it'll reveal her.
Her whole point is to try and get away. So knowing that this is going to be very bad.
Run away, then she'll probably run away then. But I don't think there's a way. I don't think I have a disengage or anything like that, unless I haven't used that. I don't know how much I used with doing the tussle thing first. So can she do like a disengage? Because obviously if she's in melee with me or whatever, can she disengage and leave?
She'd use the action to try to rotate around to confuse, so she wouldn't be able to use the disengage. So it'll be attack of opportunity from Pinkerton, Maze, and Real Pearl.
Right. And you said she's trying to get away, so she'll probably run away then.
All right. So Pinkerton, Maze, and Real Pearl all get to make opportunity attacks. Maze would sense that there's movement and turn around just to catch it.
Yeah. And just because I'm really mad at her, I'm going to use my claws with this uniron strike. It doesn't really matter.
So I had, with a dagger, I have a 15 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And it's 2 + 1, so 3 points of damage.
Alrighty. Maze?
Oh, I should have taken the D&D dice.
I think you're on mute, Maze. I can't hear you. Nope. Oh no. Pearl, what did you get? We'll let Maze troubleshoot her headset real quick.
21 to hit and 4 damage.
Okay. No, still can't hear you. Almost like you lost connection.
Now, question while she's troubleshooting, am I still standing in front of the door, so wouldn't she have to figure out a way around me?
Yeah, she'd be trying to push through you.
Okay. Nope.
What would that be, like a strength check or something to get past him? Or
It would probably be try to do that on the next turn, but Mace, what did you get on your attack roll?
Oh, now
we're starting to hear you.
Now you can hear me? That's
Yeah.
weird. I have no idea what happened. I got 18.
All right, that would hit. What's the damage?
12 points of damage.
All right, and that would actually do it for Fake Pearl. Fake Pearl does not falls over and dies, and after a moment reverts back into another one of these elongated, misshapen figures lying there on the ground.
Can Pearl purposefully not look at him this time?
Yes, Pearl can definitely look away.
She's going to, because she does not want to throw up again.
I'm curious. I'm going to look at the former Inspector Logan / Coachman, and is this the same type of creature that we found that was shaped into a woman in distress that attacked us in the alley?
Yes.
Okay.
Same. Both of them appear to be the same species of creature.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to search the body. Is it just a kind of bare creature now, or are there any clothes?
Both of them. You see the Logan one had a dagger, but it seemed to kind of change shapes into a short sword of some type. But they don't appear to have any other equipment on them.
Okay.
So did these things die, or are these things still alive?
They're both dead.
Okay.
They're both dead. Combat is over. That lasted almost no time at all. But that's what happens when you crit.
Yes. Thanks to the chat.
Four people against two too, which is helpful.
So I'm going to take the short sword and anything else on his person, at least for evidence, if not just for my own supply.
That's fair. Currently, after doing that, and you see the bodies, the precinct seems to be kind of abandoned because the other two just cut and ran.
Okay.
And of course, now you have you see a halfling and another individual who have come in and joined the fray, and with the real Pearl.
Yay!
So I am kind of disheveled in my appearance and just getting everything, stowed away and put away, and I'll look over to Pearl and say, "It's really you this time, right?"
It's me. Yay! It's me.
Where were you?
They tied me up, and they went in a hole in the building.
So did we learn anything from this experience?
Not to hold on to the shingles of a roof.
There's not any other lessons that we might be considering at this point?
Making sure I don't stealth before you guys follow me.
Fair enough. So I'll look over to the halfling and to what's your race again, or your class?
I'm an Azamar.
Azamar. I don't think I would have met an Azamar before.
No, you wouldn't have seen them, and for far as you could tell, this looks like any other human. There's a couple of differences. They're subtle in his appearance. The most striking is the depth of the blue eye color. It's almost like a sapphire or a chromatic blue.
So I look over to Maze and to Alan, and I introduce myself. Say, I'm Titus. I take it you rescued our companion.
No, I didn't rescue him. Is you actually followed. You said you would. You said you would this time. You did. I listened.
You're claiming this thing?
If I must.
You need these aspirin a lot more than I do here.
Good. Yes, my supply was dwindling. Thank you.
I'm Alan. It is nice to meet you. Not the same Alan as that thing.
So, Maze.
Oh, and this is Maze. Yes. We
Yes.
we tracked Mr. Logan to a home not far from here, and that's where we found Pearl tied up in the basement.
Yeah. Oh, did you see my ribbon? And I start searching the. Well, no, I don't start searching the creature because I don't want to look at the creature. Can someone look and see if she has my ball of ribbon, please?
Titus just takes a moment to just think, do I find the ribbon? Do I not find the ribbon? The ribbon is gone. Don't worry about the ribbon.
She didn't even look.
All right, so I'll go over.
I used prestidigitation to make a ribbon appear and toss it at her. Unfortunately for her, it's going to disappear at the end of my next turn.
And because she tossed it out, so I'm like, yay! And I'm like flipping it around in the air because it's in the air.
So for the next 6 seconds, she is completely consumed by the effect of the ribbon until, as she's playing with it, it goes poof.
Aww, I like that ribbon. What, did you find my ribbon ball?
Did I find the ribbon on Big Pearl?
Yeah, you did find it. It did kind of roll out of her hand. So Pearl does have her ball of ribbon back.
Yay!
Lord.
Yes, she does have the prop.
It's just that much more fun.
Alrighty. At this point, there's not much left to do here, unless you want to let the doctor out of his cell and let him go about his business.
I do. I
Okay.
want to let him out.
So you go over, you get the key, you let him out. He thanks you and hopes that he never sees you again. And he departs.
I was the other Pearl in a way because I would ask him how he could smell the other ones, but this Pearl doesn't know that.
He's just gone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
After a little while, and Constable Wardle and the other two come back and try to ask like, what happened, because apparently the other two went to go find Wardle and bring Wardle back. And now they
That one. Yeah, the inspector tied me up and put me in the house, and then came back here, and then he was bad, and then we attacked him because he turned into this wolfy thingy, and then there was a bad Pearl, and we attacked him and then when we got rid of both of them, they turned into those things.
Okay. At this point,
Would I recognize them? Would I know them being in the area?
You've seen Wardle cross. You and Maze have both crossed paths with Wardle a few times over your various consulting investigations. So he doesn't seem the brightest guy compared to yourselves, but he's passable.
Does he have a supervisor that we should be calling down?
I think we just killed him.
Does he have a supervisor that we should be calling in?
He says he will go and report this to the council members, and probably they're probably going to speak with another constable or another inspector to come over and take care of the investigation or continue the investigation. But he'd be happy to send that new inspector your way in the morning because it's now getting kind of late. So
Did not help us find the item we were looking for.
I'm sorry, say that again.
This did not help us find the ribbon we were looking, or the item we were looking for. Talking about ribbons way too much.
I turned to Pearl. What item are you looking for?
We don't know.
Then how do you know you don't have it in your hand?
That would be really cool. Yay!
Give me that aspirin. Pop one and I hand it back to him.
So,
Has Valium been invented yet?
I don't know.
Has Valium been invented yet?
Not yet.
So, I say to Maze and Alan, and said, we're here really something on a quest, trying to find something. We don't know exactly what, but we're operating under the understanding that whatever murders that are happening in these parts, that they are tied to this item that, again, I don't know exactly what it is, but all I know is we don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. Perhaps you folks, being from here, could help us. Seeing that you didn't attack us when we were cornered by those beasts, and you rescued Pearl. Some questionable decisions I'm sure you've made in your life, but I think that we might be friends.
I look at Maze and just go and do this to Pearl and go, do we really want to be around?
That's nice. What's wrong with being nice?
We need to get more aspirin if we're going to stick around any length of time.
At this point, you guys could exit and find a place to talk further, whether it's back at the lodging house or back at Alan and Maze's residence, because they work out of a different building.
Before we leave, I'd like to get permission from Wardle to further investigate Logan's office to see if he left anything else behind that we could see while we're here.
Also,
he lets you in and supervises, but you don't find anything in there.
Okay.
Do we know where, did he have a home that we can go to? Not sure if the place we were at was his real home or if that was just a secondary location he was hiding Pearl.
He's unsure. He doesn't know much about Inspector Logan outside of the working hours. So he doesn't know much about his personal life or anything he does. Okay. Most times the lower officers, so to speak, don't pry too much into what the superiors are doing.
Right.
So
we don't find anything in his office with an address, like a different address on it or anything. Okay.
No.
When you talk to the council, would you please see if they have any paperwork or records on where this creature lived?
Okay.
Because that may have some valuable information in it.
Scoob, I have a quick question.
Go for it.
My notes say that the inspector's name was Andrew Logan.
Oh,
is it Andrew or is it Alan or is there another person that I should be aware of?
It's Andrew. I'm sorry, I had Alan on my mind for some reason, probably because I was helping Shad get his character built. So it's Andrew Logan.
Okay. Just making sure I wasn't missing a critical character plot thing.
You are correct. It is Andrew Logan and Alan Pinkerton.
Okay.
Now that mess is fixed.
Don't take your eyes off these creatures. They disappear.
Like you?
How do you know I disappear? Have I ever disappeared?
You told us you disappeared from your group.
I can just imagine the conversations you had bringing her back to this place.
But can we do you know what these things are? Asking those people. Or is there a way for us to figure out what those things are? Because they disappear after they're dead. That's not normal. Nope.
How do you know they disappear after they're dead?
Because I told my party to watch it, that we should watch one of them, or it would disappear, or someone would take it or something, and they didn't listen, and we went and went to someone else, because someone else had died, and then when we came back, it was gone.
I look up at Titus. Would you like to translate?
What's wrong with my accent? I said
He just kind of scratches his head, and so here's what happened. We were attacked by this lady who was calling out for help. Turns out not to be a lady, but one of these creatures. And then we heard another attack was happening, if I remember correctly, and decided to go and try and follow that direction. And then while we were gone, the creature that we dispatched was taken away or disappeared while we were gone. So it could have been that Logan or this fake Pearl might have found the body and moved it, but I don't know.
So now that we have a free cell, I want to take the creatures and put them in the cell and lock them up.
That's fair.
Can I keep the keys, please?
No.
Aww. They jingle.
Prestidigitation, and I toss her keys.
Yay!
Last
For 6 seconds. Yes.
I like him. He gives me keys.
Poof.
Aww. Okay, no good, I guess.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Is the constable still there?
Yes, they're
Okay.
there. They take some a minute to kind of steal their resolve, but they help you because the sight of these creatures is a little disturbing, especially after everything they've seen tonight. Wardle is just Wardle at this point has gone tells the two of them to kind of stay put because he's currently in charge as he goes and relays the information back. After about 20-30 minutes of this and everything's kind of situated, the constables politely ask you to return to your homes or wherever you're lodging, and for the night so that they can focus on preparing for whatever might happen.
Ooh, you guys can come with us and meet Auntie.
We'll be at Maze and I will be in our office if you all would like to join us.
Yes,
Can we go and see Auntie afterwards?
Because I'm assuming in the office where we were working, we'd have whatever we were investigating. We'd have papers and maps and things drawn and laid out.
Yeah.
Bring them in, kind of walk them through what we know. Let's figure out what they know. Maybe we can put a bigger piece of this puzzle together.
Yes. So you guys all head back to the offices. I'm not going to say the address because that would just be too funny. But I'm sure we all have figured out the address by now. So you guys all go into the office. As you see, it's an eclectic assembling of things and maps and documents. The documents that Maze and Alan have assembled kind of lets you guys see actual documented proof that the series of murders seems to repeat every 13 years. Seems to involve women who work at night, all and trying to track it down, but it's been very elusive as to what's going on. There are various bits and pieces that don't seem all overly related. There is actually no murder that occurs this week, which is probably one of the first things that seems to be unusual. You guys kind of work your way through to the early morning, and then hearing the newsboys go out and start doing their thing, where there's no You hear them called, no murder last night. Then of course they're running with their speeches about like maybe things have changed, maybe the worst is over, who knows, or maybe it's the worst is yet to come. Very disorienting, which seems out of character for what Maze and Alan are used to seeing. It's like, this is created clockwork every night for X amount of nights. Something happens. Yet for some reason last night something did not happen.
So we are still in their offices?
Yes.
Okay. I see all of the maps and all the historical documents about the murders. Do they have the recent murders pinned on their boards as well? Okay. So it looks like we've been working the same case. A lot of the information that we have seems to be up on your board. And then I'll relay and just kind of fill in whatever gaps, the things that we already know about Logan, about the cloak that had the tear in it, that 3 murders have happened out of what we expect to be 5. And that also filling in, kind of mentioning again that there's been multiple of these same types of creatures that have all tried to attack us in this town. And I'll turn to Alan and ask him, you know this place pretty well, yes?
I do. As does Maze.
What about any other associates of Logan? Anyone that he might have hung around with?
Yeah, so I cast a spell on him right as he was dying, and the only thing I got out of him was his boss is not going to be happy.
Remember the very first night, the coachman was with somebody. Remember, there was another person, and I tried to catch him.
Who's this coachman?
The coachman. Okay, so when he died and he turned into the guy, and then he turned into another guy, that guy.
Yeah, but who is he? What was his job? What was his purpose?
The coach, that the bad guy, the other guy that was killing the person, got in, and then later on, the coachman attacked us and hurt Tavros. I didn't like that, so I chased him.
Who's Tavros?
That's the minotaur that let me touch his horns.
So, the questions could the other Pearl, we would have gotten the sense that she was kind of subservient to Logan, that he was calling the shots. Okay.
I don't know, Maze. What do you think? This is very unusual. They never skip a night. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I believe we threw a wrench in their plans when we took out Detective Logan Creature person. And remember, didn't we find a torn cloak in the house when we rescued Chatty Catty over there?
No, you didn't find any. You didn't find a torn cloak there, but as sharing the information, Titus would have told you all about the cloak found in the in Inspector Logan's office. Even when you guys went to look in there as well, you saw the cloak was laying there, filling in the bits and pieces so far. The whole accusing the doctor of being the murderer, and as relaying that in, you get the sense that the evidence that Inspector Logan had was planted, probably most likely by him, and seems kind of weird because for Titus thinking back on it, it was wait a minute, Pearl was with him for some of those rooms and didn't say anything. So it's just more of that coming to the realization that whatever replaced Pearl had its allegiance to Logan. And given the information that Alan just said about Logan, having someone who above him seems the plot, so to speak, is thickening.
Yeah. So turn to Titus. Can you tell me more about this coachman and the man that was with him? Because I think that's kind of our next play. It's to figure out who that man is, what he does.
He had blood on his mouth.
He what?
Yeah.
Nothing like burying the lead. What do you mean he had blood on his mouth?
He was over the body we found first. And when he looked up, he had blood on his mouth. Like it was dripping down.
He's our next lead. We have to find him.
I don't know where we're going.
What do you all know about him?
That's pretty much it. He ran away, got in the coach. I tried to chase the coach and never saw him again.
Yeah, we're lacking on the details. Top hat.
Which direction was the coach going? What clothes was this creature person wearing? Anything?
The clothes were like common clothes. We tried to find the clothes, but they both were wearing such common clothes we couldn't trace it.
What about the coach?
It was common view. Didn't we try to ask about that?
Yeah, we did.
What direction? Yeah, what direction was it heading?
It was heading away from them. They had just gotten into town.
Right.
So it was heading out of town or further into town?
Further into town. They weren't able to keep pace with it as it raced off, and then the coachman attacked them the first night, and then they've been trying to attack them again another night.
Okay. So on this map where we would be marking the murders, I asked them to mark where they came into town and which direction the coach was heading.
Which they do.
And of course, what we're looking for is any kind of pattern or anything that may help give us a direction.
Correlating with previous stuff, the location of the murder seems to vary every time. Even digging back into the records and for this past several times this has happened, it's like it always seems to be this district you guys are in is where it seems to occur, and it's just it varies a little bit from street each time it comes up, but it's always in this kind of lower income area.
Is there like a I don't know, because I've seen things like where like it makes a circle, or not like a full obvious circle, but like is there like one central place that's in the center of all the murders?
Not that you guys can tell, because the way the district is, there isn't like a central building per se. It always just seems to be within the same area. But given enough information from what you said, is for Alan to he has some theories on what to pursue, so he can go and pursue those, and probably recommending that Maze work with you guys to further investigate what's going on, because there wasn't a murder doesn't mean that the murders are done.
Right.
Still, at least the other guy, the boss, still gotta find him.
And he's certainly aware that no murders have taken place.
Oh, and have you guys heard anything about some item that shows up every 13 years? Maybe if we know something more about that, we'll find more about the murders, or vice versa.
We have found anything during our research?
No.
Okay.
The only bit of information is what they described to you on that first killing. The first killing with the individual, he was wearing a cloak and a top hat, had a beard and dark hair. He was holding a very elaborate knife with a very kind of elaborate knife with a oval crossguard on it. That's probably one of your biggest breakthroughs in investigating this, because it's been very maddening how convenient it seems, especially hearing their tale, how convenient it is that there's never a whole lot of evidence. There's never any witnesses. And yet now you have a group of witnesses who watched not one, but two, have seen not one, but have seen all three murders this time with some detail.
And the figure Scoop, the guy in the top hat that we saw on the first night, and when we first came into town, and then the figure we saw for the third murder, also having a top hat, that was the same guy?
No, the one who attacked you never saw who committed the crime on the third murder.
Mm-hmm.
But the individual that attacked you is the coachman who had the mustache,
Okay.
but not the full beard.
Okay.
So the most recognizable for him was he was the one driving the coach that the first guy leapt to and seemed really kind of and got away.
Mm-hmm.
So
You think there'd be someone we could ask about the knife he had? Like someone there that sells knives or makes the knives or something like that, maybe, to find him that way?
Another thing that we could consider is whether or not Logan had a coach. If he had some type of carriage or something that we could look at and see, maybe it matches the one we saw on the first day, and perhaps there could be a knife or some other evidence that's inside. So whether it's at the precinct or at his home, we could potentially track that down and get to the bottom of this before another person dies.
that's fair. Unfortunately, given that most police don't have their own private carriages, only the really upper class have them. If not, there's a group of them that's kind of like that are independently run, and most of them all look the same. So pursuing that lead is not going to turn up any results.
Okay.
And this is all, again, since you guys are new, as opposed to talking with a couple of people who live here, as you kind of go back and forth on these details, it all kinds of comes to fruition. At some point, though, you realize that you all need to rest. It's been a very long day. So if you go back for your respective resting with the anticipation that you will meet up again with Maze after a rest and possibly see whoever has been put in charge, who's now been put in charge, and kind of keep it in private patrol to try and see if you could prevent another murder from happening. Which will bring us to ending our session for tonight. Thank you, all of you, for spending the time.
Thank you for having me as a guest.
Yes, much appreciated. As usual with what we do, let's do a quick round on there. What was your favorite and not so favorite part of the session? We will start with our guest first, Mr. Shad.
Oh God. Favorite. Actually, watching Pearl go back and forth with herself is actually kind of really amusing. I need an aspirin now.
I totally understand for some reason. I could probably use another dose myself. Nothing against you. It's just I've been fighting a headache all day. I think whatever I had for coffee this morning did not sit right.
But I didn't really have a negative moment other than the headache I got from listening to Pearl go back and forth.
The circular.
So it's a double-edged sword, exactly.
Yes, very much so. Maze, how about you? Since you're our newest cast member, what was your favorite and scariest or not so favorite part?
My favorite part would have to be actually finding Pearl. and getting a poker with my rapier and watching her squirm across the floor.
That was great.
And yeah, I really don't have a scary or bad moment. It was great. I loved it.
Awesome. Alrighty. Pearl, how about you?
Oh, well, I had lots of fun things. My favorite thing was actually Shad coming on, because I had no clue at all it was going to be him. That was a fun surprise. And then probably the one that was probably like my most worried moment was literally that Titus was alone with Julia in that room with 4 other people. And pretty much just setting himself up to get attacked.
Yeah, that was starting to get a little hairy. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one.
Yeah. And I wanted to scream out so bad. Like, what are you doing? Don't do that. But I couldn't, because it wasn't, I don't think she would say that, because it's not me.
Titus, what about you? What was your...
So, obviously the scariest moment was when Logan invited us into this small, windowless room. I knew that it was going down. It was like, it's about to go down. It's about to happen. And, not metagaming. I had to believe that I had to at least trust Pearl some in my roleplay there. But I was like, this is the time. I've got to call his bluff and see if we can't get to the bottom of this with Logan. So that was the scariest moment. And my favorite moment was the bombshell of Pearl being in the cellar. I was completely shocked by that. When you were narrating the claw marks and I was seeing Pearl bust out laughing, I was like, your poker face is broken. I know you've been there, but it was really good, really good.
Well, that's the reason why her game is chess, not poker.
Yep, that is very
Anytime
true.
you want to play poker, I will be more than happy to play poker.
You'd be surprised how serious I can get when I'm actually trying. I was not trying there.
That's fair. And anybody who's been watching, if there are clips and moments you thought were really great, by all means, make the clips and share them out. It's a great word of mouth to continue to grow our audience and whatnot. So those kinds of things are awesome. I did have a question while we were coming in. It was from Kit Matari. How was Titus's nat 20 damage with Smite calculated? I calculate it very similar to some other people. You get all dice that you would roll for an attack, or all dice you would roll for damage. Sneak attack, smite, all of that. The way we do it is we do max value of the dice plus what you roll. Traditionally, per the standard rules, you would double the result of rolling all the dice. Sometimes, though, if you get all ones, which is statistically possible, however unlikely, that would not really feel cool for a critical hit. To have like a D8s, D12s, all that, and you get all ones. So that would just eh. So it's max value plus what you roll plus whatever bonus. So in Titus's case, your longsword does how much damage?
It's a D8.
So it's a D8 plus anything, or just a D? Should
Plus
be
3.
What's your...
So D8 plus 3, and your smite is 2D8 for a level 1 smite. So 3D8. So 3D8 max is 24 plus what the results were. That
Plus
came
the
out to
3.
be 39. That's how I do it. That's how a couple other people on stream, specifically, that's how Realmsmith does it. Max dice plus what you roll. That's how I do it in my offline games as well. To kind of give you that umph and cool moment.
Yeah.
I try to be consistent.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
so
you're right.
glad
There's
it worked
nothing like
out.
rolling a 1 on damage and you're like, oh, great, I get to double that to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you definitely get some definite hits. But thank you everyone who hung out with us and watched. Thank you to the cast. Thank you to the moderators in the chat tonight. Again, a shout out for Syrinscape and all those wonderful things there. Shout out to D&D Beyond. Let me check my activity feed because we got some follows and stuff while we were hanging out. Oh, see, there was Kimatari for the bits, Lebanese for bits, Ninja named Jesus, thank you for the follow. Denying Wind, thank you for the follow. Jinxie, thank you for all the bits. Lebanese, thank you for the 3-month sub. That's awesome. So, anything from you guys?
We survived.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys don't have fun with Pearl. I mean,
I've got to show you all this. These are brownie eyeballs that my wife just made for a trunk or treat at church tomorrow.
oh, that's
Love it.
This is her little baked good she made. I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Where's
I like it.
ours?
Yeah.
Probably airmail. She's like, yeah, it's in the mail.
Great. I won't hold my breath.
So, thank you again, Shad, for guesting and helping the party.
Thank you
Granted,
for
it
having me.
didn't go as horribly wrong as I thought it could have. Again, gotta love the tricksters.
Yep.
And of course, next week we will be doing a holiday Halloween themed one shot. Rod Must Die in Space. Will be loads of fun. This party will get to choose characters they can play for that one. The adventure is going to be level 8 characters. So if you have a level 8 character you would like to use, or if you'd like to scale up for a possible future with your current character, you totally can. If you want to see how Shad does on this, join us Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern for Twilight's Gleaming, where the cast there will also be doing this one shot. If you want to, we also so check us out tomorrow. Check us out tomorrow morning. I will be doing Sunday with Scoob, which is my Sunday morning chit chat, coffee, play video games. Probably going to do some more Baldur's Gate 3 because I missed out on that last week. And Tuesday night, of course, is Scuba and the Rye, which is a live recorded podcast where me and my co-host Rye, we talk about movies, games, random internet stories, fireside chat, and just hang out and have fun. So there's nothing else for me and nothing else from the cast. We will wish you all a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your night, enjoy the Sunday, and stay safe. And remember, it's only about 10 days till Election Day in the United States. So if you haven't registered, try to get in. Yeah, and make sure you make plans to vote. Because, you know, every election's important, and as good citizens, we have that option to make change. This is our biggest opportunity to make change.
Yes, it is.
So, good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.